What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Uprise Postgame show. So, I finally got home. I underestimated how bad the traffic was leaving Moda Center. It's been a while since I've been to a Blazer game. The last game I was at was Game 2 of the first round last season. So, yeah, it took forever for me to get out of there. I grabbed some food, you know. So, this stream is going to probably be a short one. It's probably going to be, only like 30 minutes, maybe. Depends on a couple things. But, I'm just going to go over this. So me and Eric went to the game. Eric's probably still on his way home right now. So since this is a short stream, he's not going to be on the stream. But that game was ugly. That game was beyond ugly. And I'll get into all the reasons why. But honestly, man, I don't even know how to analyze a game like that. We played horribly. I don't know if it was me seeing it live, but I think that might have been, just in terms of silly mistakes, not being in the right spot, fundamental things, that might have been our worst game all year. Now, we shot the ball okay, but my goodness, there were so many mistakes that I noticed live that I'm not sure that I would notice on TV. And me and Eric we're seeing this as it happens. Trevin says, Tori tweets live in 15 minutes at 10:13. Me, an intellectual. All right, see you at 10:40. The problem was my computer kept shutting off, man. I swear. That probably sounds like BS. No, my computer literally shut off on me twice. Then I had to make the thumbnail. It was being slow. I need if I had a desktop set up, I would have been live in 15. It's just sometimes my whole process slows me up. But my goodness. So on the way home, I was listening to the postgame show. Chad Ewing came on and referenced how there's a section of Blazer fans that think Stotts is a problem. That injuries aren't a problem, Stotts is a problem. Now I think both are a problem, obviously. Injuries definitely are a problem, but my goodness. These guys, on both sides of the floor, just don't know where to be. They just don't know where to be, man. And we'll get into the refs, too, because the refs were absolutely horrible. But, basically, the fourth quarter was really bad in terms of how we were handling Dame being trapped. Dame would get trapped, and we'd have guys standing on top of each other across the court in the corner. There was a time where Dame got trapped, and he tried to make a pass, end up being a kick ball, but on that play, you had four guys all along the baseline while Dame was getting trapped at half court, and none of them made an effort to come up to give Dame a passing opportunity to relieve pressure, stuff like that. Stuff like that's inexcusable. They should be working against situations where defenses trap Dame. They should be working on that a lot, so the fact that they looked like they had no idea what to do when Dame started getting trapped was kind of concerning to me. You know, Dame did drive and score out of it, but it's just stuff that just not being spaced correctly when Dame was getting trapped, not being an opportunity to help Dame relieve pressure. You know, those types of things have been problems for years. So I don't want to hear the injury excuse for something like that. That's been something that's been a problem for years. We overhelped like crazy, too. Kent Bazemore really struggled defensively to start the game, which is the last guy that should be struggling defensively. He's our best perimeter defender in the starting lineup. But he was really struggling defensively to start the game. Glenn Robinson was kind of lighting him up. And I've made it known that I'm in support of a Glenn Robinson trade. Glenn Robinson looked pretty good tonight. Knocked down some shots, just kind of fit in with what is a crappy Warriors team. But that second three Glenn Robinson hit, and this let me backtrack a second here. You guys can go and pull up full game highlights if you have a second screen or something. Pull up full game highlights of this game, and as I reference plays, you guys could actually scrub in that video and find the points that I'm talking about. That's something you guys might like to do, might enjoy, I don't know. But that second three of the game Glenn Robinson hit, I thought was a perfect example of the problems that we have where we just completely lose guys. Glenn Robinson hit the first three of the game. We go down, we don't score. Second possession, might have been the third possession. 3 to nothing because Glenn Robinson hit the first three. Kent Bazemore ends up on Glenn Robinson and sags 20 feet off him, even though the ball is like above the 3-point line. Doesn't even get close to guarding him. I'm going to pull it up. I'm not going to play it, but I'm going to pull it up on my phone and try and show it. If I pulled it up on the screen, there'd be a problem with like this video, this live stream possibly getting copyright claimed. That's why I don't include footage, because I don't want to deal with copyright issues that YouTube will automatically detect. So let me just try and show you guys an example, though. It shouldn't be detected if it's on a phone, so I'm going to do it like this. Just give me a second. Because this is something I've talked about, and I'm not sure people know exactly what I mean. This is going to be hard to see, but let me see there. It's probably not going to focus, but this player right there, yeah, you guys can't see it. Damn. I wish there was an easy way to show you guys, but go look up full game highlights. Go watch that second play. Just leaving a guy with 20 feet of space to catch and shoot. That was a problem all game long. Kent Bazemore, there was multiple possessions early on where Kent Bazemore sagged completely off a play into the middle of the key and let guys get wide open catch and shoot shots. It's stuff like that that has me blaming the coaching for parts of our struggles. Boxing out was a major problem. I thought our bigs battled well for rebounds, even Scal. Hassan Whiteside had 23 boards, so he had a good game tonight in terms of rebounding, but our guards don't do a good enough job of going in there and mixing it up for boards. A lot of times our guards will stand around and watch our big guys try and rebound. They won't get in there and try and grab a board. They don't box out. Our big guys box out sometimes. Our wings and guards never box out. There was multiple putbacks where Kent Bazemore didn't box out and just kind of like stood waiting for the ball to come to him, and because he didn't box out, the guy he was supposed to box out crashed the boards hard, got up above him, and got putbacks. That's been a problem almost all season long. The Warriors had 16 offensive rebounds tonight. That should not happen. But they had 16 offensive rebounds because our wings, our perimeter players, they don't box out. Gary Trent Jr. is the only one that sometimes boxes out. Gary Trent Jr. goes hard after boards. He's really the only perimeter player that goes hard after boards. Melo mixes it up here and there. I guess you could count him as a perimeter player, but I'm mostly talking about people playing point guard, shooting guard, small forward. So guys like Kent Bazemore, Anthony Simons, Damian Lillard, CJ McCollum, even an Anthony Tolliver. So we end up giving up a lot of boards because there will be times where our big will have good interior position, but the ball will bounce over them. So the guy they're actually boxing out will end up getting the rebound, you know? I don't have a problem with the big on that play. He boxed out. Sometimes you'll box out and not get the board. That's fine, you know? You got to do what you can do, which is box out. But the guards, when a rebound goes long like that, when it goes over the big's heads, it's going out towards the perimeter. The guards have to be out there to grab that rebound. So either it'll go to the big, or if it goes over the big's head, then the guard needs to be there to try and grab that rebound to mix that up. The problem is a lot of our guards stand at the three-point line and watch the ball go over the big guys' heads and watch the other team get an offensive rebound. It's a major, major problem. A lot of times these plays happen because somebody with the ball will drive the lane. Hassan Whiteside will come over, try and block a shot or provide help defense. And in that situation, nobody's on Hassan's guy because Hassan Whiteside just went and provided help side defense. So Hassan Whiteside's guy will end up getting offensive boards because Hassan isn't on him because he had to go help. In those scenarios, the guards have to crash down. When Hassan Whiteside helps over onto a guy driving, somebody on Hassan's side of the court has to help him out and take his guy. That might mean rotate to his guy and take away a dump-off pass if Hassan helps. Or that might mean going in there and crashing hard for a rebound and making it hard for that guy to get an offensive board. That's what I mean by defensive rotations, and we just don't do it. And that affects our rebounding. That affects us getting out onto shooters properly, things like that. And those things I think are coaching related because They're not things that are talent based. Those aren't things that are talent based. People are saying, we got injuries. Okay? Yeah, so we're a less talented team because of the injuries, but we're making many, many mistakes that are not due to us having injuries or shouldn't be due to us having injuries. And that's been my entire point early on in the season. But Chad Doing, he's been kind of going on this crusade against, I guess, the Stotts haters crew. That's what he views it. I'm not a Stotts hater. I call what I see. And if it's Stotts struggling, I'm gonna say it's Stotts struggling. I don't want him to struggle. I want him to be a good coach. But for him, it's all black and white generalizations, where it's either injuries or it's coaching. Nothing in depth. It's either injuries or coaching. It won't even give us the option to answer both when he posts a poll about it. What do you think the problems are, injuries or coaching? And he keeps it super, super general. The problem is both. Right now, our bench is not talented enough. We got to upgrade our bench. That might mean putting somebody in the starting lineup, moving Kent Bazemore to the bench, but honestly, I don't even want Kent Bazemore in the rotation right now. We need to add talent to this team. No notifications, says Brian Scalabrini. You can turn on notifications for Blazers Uprise. That's where I'm going to start tweeting out when I go live, and I don't tweet from that often. It will just be channel-related stuff. I understand why people wouldn't want to have Twitter notifications for my personal account because I tweet a ton from there. So that would be just a ton of notifications. So if you just want like updates on when we go live, sometimes YouTube doesn't send out notifications. Make sure you have that bell button pressed if you want notifications. But sometimes, even if you have that bell button pressed, YouTube doesn't send out notifications. So if you get Twitter notifications from the Blazers Uprise Twitter page, which is at Blazers Uprise, then you'll get notifications when I go live because I always tweet out when I go live, and I'm gonna start doing that on Blazers Uprise, on the Blazers Uprise Twitter page instead of my own Twitter page. Thoughts on Joakim Noah declining a contract with the Blazers this summer? That's strange. Maybe he doesn't want to play anymore. Maybe he's like retired without really announcing it. I don't know. Simons is not the answer. Simons isn't really the problem, though. We have bigger problems than Anthony Simons. I can get into Simons a little bit and what I think is bothering him. But we have a lot bigger issues than Anthony Simons. People like to single out certain players. Right now, the only player I've singled out is like Kent Bazemore's defense, but that's an example of the type of defensive issues that the whole team has. So, like our issues are team-based things. Our issues are not being in the right place defensively, not rotating defensively, not being in the right place offensively when Dame gets trapped. Our stagnant offense. A lot of our issues are team-based issues that are there no matter who we have on the floor. These things would be issues if we didn't have injuries. I can say that with full confidence because there were issues when we had Hood. They were issues when we still had Collins at the very start of the year. They were issues last year with Nurkic. These things have been issues for a long time. There's just certain areas where Terry Stotts coached teams lack. There's certain fundamental areas where they lack. Things like being in the right position defensively, rotating. Boxing out hasn't really been a problem. That's kind of new. But we haven't improved in that whatsoever. I don't think he's holding guys accountable enough in terms of their boxing out, because I think if he was holding them accountable enough, then we would see it improve. Yeah, I mean, there's a number of other things that I've been vocal on. So people might say, hey, Tori, we won tonight. Don't be negative. But there's really no positives to take away from this game for me. Sure, you can look at a couple individual performances. Hassan boarded up really, really well. Dame, 31 points and 13 assists. That was a great game from Dame. Made some really nice passes. CJ shot. I don't know exactly what he shot. I'm going to look it up. Hey, Tori, can you unblock my primary account, Austin Whack? I blocked your account? What the? I might have accidentally blocked your account trying to block someone else. I forget exactly how to do it. I'll try and remember after this. I'll definitely look into it, bro. And if I don't, then hit me up on the next live stream. Because, yeah, I definitely did not mean to block you, Austin. Would never block you. You've never said anything remotely close to being block-worthy. So, something must have slipped there or something. I'm not sure. But let me look at the box score. I will say this. The team did take care of the ball tonight. 11 turnovers is solid. I believe they only had 1 turnover in the second half, which means 10 in the first half. That was a problem, but 1 in the second half, that's good. But when this team doesn't really move the ball, when this team doesn't really make risky passes, they should only have 11 turnovers in a game. A lot of their passing comes off like handoffs and passes around the perimeter. You shouldn't be turning the ball over off that. You know what I mean? A team that moves the ball more will be more successful even if they turn the ball over more. So, but that was definitely an area you can look at and be like, okay, that was solid. CJ shot 11 for 19 tonight. CJ had 30 points. CJ and Dame had 30 and 31 apiece. Carmelo was solid. He knocked down some shots. He was 7 for 17, 1 for 4 from the 3-point line. So it was kind of like it was mediocre efficiency. But he did knock down some shots. His mid-range was falling. It's kind of an opposite game for Carmelo Anthony. So far this season, he's been able to finish well around the rim, and he's been able to hit 3-point shots, and he's really struggled with his mid-range. Tonight, his mid-range was pretty much the only thing that was falling. Tolliver, I actually think, played an okay game. 18 minutes. He was 2 for 3 from the field, 1 for 2 from the 3-point line, 1 for 1 from the free throw line. 2 assists, 6 points, 3 rebounds. Tolliver is just a statue on defense. That dude's defense is so bad. It's funny how people thought he was going to be a good defender or a serviceable defender for us. That dude's a statue defensively. That dude's so slow defensively. It's scary. Scow had a good game, 10 points in 14 minutes. He had 7 rebounds in 14 minutes, so that's a good rebounding number for Scow. Like I said, our big guys, Hassan and Scow, combined for 30 rebounds from our center position. Outside of that, we have to have better rebounding. Carmelo had 8, Dame had 5, CJ had 5, but you can't be giving up. They had 17 offensive rebounds. I thought it was 16. Golden State had 17 offensive rebounds. That's inexcusable. That's something that we have to fix, and it starts with boxing out. It starts with putting a body on guys, which we still aren't doing. It's such a fundamental thing. I don't understand why we're doing it. But there was some good individual performances. You know, we did shoot decent percentages, over 45% from the field, 29% from 3 isn't great, but we got 28 free throws and made 89% of our free throws. We made 25 for 28. So even as bad as the refs were, which they were bad, we did shoot 5 more free throws than the Golden State Warriors, and we made 11 more. They didn't make shots from the free throw line. If they made free throws, this would have been a complete toss-up, which is scary to think about because it's the Golden State Warriors. They're now 5 and 24. You know what I mean? So we had little room for error when we got bailed out by them missing a lot of free throws. But the refs, especially in that second quarter, those refs were bad, man. Those refs were calling the ticky-tack stuff, and then the play that Terry Stotts got called on where Dame got flattened, they didn't call that, and it's just like, that might not have been a foul, but it was definitely much, much more of a foul than what they were calling on the other end. So that's why I had a problem with. If they were letting guys play physical and didn't call that, that would have been fine. It was just the way they were calling the game that didn't make any sense to me. I was glad Terry got teed up there. Shane Schaefer says it's a bench issue altogether, but Simons has been a straight liability and thanks for penciling in on my comment, but we have been missing Curry the most out of everyone we let walk this offseason. Rodney Hood is a better player than Seth Curry. Rodney Hood was terrific for us. I see a bunch of people talking about how we miss Seth Curry. We could have only kept one of Rodney Hood and Seth Curry and Enes Kanter. We kept Rodney Hood, which was the right guy to keep out of those three. We might not have been able to keep Seth Curry regardless because Seth Curry went back to Dallas where he had been earlier in his career, so maybe he likes it there. Also got offered $8 million a year. We could only offer $5.7 million starting salary. Russell first round exit Westbrook. I don't get why we so sad in here. We beat the Warriors. Let's get turned one a Lubba. See, this is a game that's tough for me, man, because I have literally no good feelings coming out of this game. We played bad. We got to win because we played the Golden State Warriors, which is the worst team in the Western Conference. No praise for the coach when the team wins. I'll hate 24/7. There's no praise to give, man. We played horribly. If we play this type of game against Orlando on Friday, we're going to lose. If we play this type of game against Minnesota on Saturday, we're going to lose. We cannot keep playing basketball like this. There were so many possessions late in the third, early in the fourth, where we ended up taking early contested three-point jumpers, missing bad. Gary Trent Jr. had a couple. Dame had a couple. CJ had one or two. You know, I'm fine with early pull-up threes if they're at least somewhat open. You know, if they're contested, then okay. It's fine if they're contested if a player is hot. If a player has hit like 2-3 in a row, something like that. They're even fine if we're down a lot and we need to get something going quick and we need quick scores. The situation we were in, with the players shooting those types of shots, those were not good shots, and we had a bunch of them. When we attacked the rim, CJ had a nice lay-in. Dame was able to get to the rim when he decided to get to the rim. We were able to get to the rim, but there's just a stretch where Gary Trent Jr., Dame, CJ, they're just settling for contested jumpers. There's like 6 in the span of like 5 minutes. Maybe less than 5 minutes. It might have been 6 in the span of 3 minutes. It seemed like it was pretty back to back to back. But then we'd throw in a play where we would attack the rim. And we'd get buckets. And then we go back next 2 possessions, early contested pull-up threes. And the problem I have with early contested pull-up threes is you can get those shots whenever. You can kick it out to CJ with 4 on the shot clock, and he can get that contested pull-up three. Like, let's run some offense and try and get a better shot than a contested pull-up three. And if we can't, then fine. We can settle for a contested pull-up three with the shot clock winding down. The contested pull-up threes with 14, 15 on the shot clock. I'm not a big fan of those shots. But, you know, for a guy like Terry Stotts, I don't think he has any problem with those types of shots. You know, that's where we disagree, I guess. But there's just so much in this game that just had me scratching my head. I mean, even down to... You know the play that Steve Kerr challenged where Dame got fouled and he ended up trying to skip it across the court and it got intercepted. It got stolen by the Warriors as in the last minute. On that inbounds play, I don't think we were running an inbounds play. We got lucky that they fouled. Dame ended up throwing a turnover. But Dame and CJ were running directly to the same spot. You don't want that on an inbounds. Because you take away that spot, one guy can take away that spot and take away 2 players because both players are going to that spot. CJ and Dame were running to the same spot. So when Dame caught the ball, there's already 2 defenders there, Dame's and CJ's. And that spot was also on the sideline. So once Dame caught the ball, he got trapped. Ended up jump passing, skipping across. Questionable foul call. You know, they reviewed it. It was a foul, but ended up trying to skip it across. If that was the foul, Golden State gets that and gets a lay-in. And we have problems on end-of-game sideline out of bounds. A lot of times it just looks like we're just kind of like running around freelancing. Like we don't have a set sideline out of bounds play to get the ball in the last 30 seconds when we know they're going to foul or trap. And that's another thing with the coaching. This has been a problem for years. Dame and CJ, it's like, why are they running to the same spot? It doesn't make sense. It does not make sense, man. I don't know. But that's the thing, injuries are Dame and CJ run to the same spot, injuries. Kent Bazemore playing 15 feet off a guy who just hit a three, and then he hits another, injuries. We're kind of standing around being stagnant on offense like we have been for the past 4 years, because we're regularly in the bottom five in terms of assists per game. Oh, that's due to injuries, though. Yeah, that's the narrative. And if I call out that narrative and I get called out on air all week by Mr. Chad Dillon. So, I don't know. It's me and Eric were having some fun at the game. We'd point out something wrong and injuries. The guy got injuries. CJ dribbled off his foot. Injuries. It's almost like a sneeze. Injuries. I'm reading in chat. I don't actually think. I mean, there's problems due to injuries. This team is just less talented. Okay, but not every problem is due to being less talented. And lack of chemistry can't explain everything. These guys have been together for 28 games now, all of them except for Melo. Anyway. You saw me on the Jumbotron? Yeah, I was on the Jumbotron. I was sitting in the Rip City row. Eric, Eric, you said you've been listening to this whole thing. I didn't mean to block Austin Wack. Oh, okay, yeah, actually I did. He changed his name to Eric Brandt, and I blocked him. I didn't think that was somebody on their actual account. Yeah, I didn't want somebody posting as Eric Brandt, people thinking it was Eric Brandt. The birders got out of control. Solar Money, I don't get why we're negative. We won. We have enough negative streams. Save it for the loss. We've had some positive streams lately. Last game was a positive stream. But honestly, I did not have a positive experience watching this game. I didn't. This game was frustrating to watch. We struggled to beat a team that's 5-23 going into tonight when we were at home. Like, what is there to be positive about? That Golden State team usually plays better than that, even though they're 5-23 going into tonight. Like, this might have been we might have made the most head-scratching mistakes in terms of, like, fundamental things. Things that some people wouldn't notice, some people would. Me and Eric definitely do. I feel like we made the most head-scratching mistakes in that regard than any other game this season. So it's like, yes, we won, but what's the bigger picture here? We have to improve these things, because if we don't improve these things, we're not going to make the playoffs. So in a game like tonight that we should win, if we lost, I'm blasting this team. A lot more than this, because we would lost to a 5-23 team at home with Dame, CJ, Melo, and Whiteside. So we win, but it's against maybe the worst team in the NBA. And we make probably the most mistakes out of any game. What is there to be positive about? We have to improve these things, and I'm not seeing improvement. I'm actually seeing a bit of regression, which is concerning. Dame, CJ, and Melo shooting like this, like they have the past couple of games combined, that's not going to be sustainable. Good teams are going to take that away a bit, and we're going to be screwed. Unless we start doing other things better. But I'm not seeing signs of that. So I get it. You guys want me to be positive, but it's just hard to look at a game like this and find positives outside of individual player performances. But those individual player performances actually support my point even more. This is still a talented team. This is not a below 500 roster as much as a lot of media guys want you to believe. This roster is at least a 500 level roster in terms of the talent they have on it. Now, the bench sucks. But Damian Lillard, CJ McCollum, Hassan Whiteside, Carmelo Anthony. These guys, that top four, even with a crummy bench, that's still a 500 roster. So there's your positivity. I think this roster is better than a lot of people think this roster is. And you saw it tonight with CJ balling out. Another efficient night from CJ. I'm going to check his assists because I don't know his assists off the top of my head. CJ had 3 assists. Okay. 5 rebounds. But 30 points on 11 for 19 shooting, 3 for 8 from the three-point line, 5 for 6 from the free throw line. Like, that was a really good scoring night from CJ. And that's, like, what he does, you know? Dame, terrific with his passing. 13 assists with a lot of the time playing next to guys like Anthony Simons, who struggled tonight over 5. Anthony Tolliver. Kent Bazemore. But he had 13 assists. 31 points. Dude's one of the best players in the NBA. Some Whiteside 16 and 23. Like, there were some positive individual performances. So, like, yes, that's cool. But, like, it's what I expect out of these guys because I have confidence in these guys. More confidence than other members of the media. I expect these types of performances from Hassan Whiteside, from CJ McCollum, from Damian Lillard. We've seen them. This is what they do. So the fact that they have performances like this just proves my point even more that this roster is good enough to be able to take care of business. They are good enough to win games that they've lost in the past. We've lost a lot of games with this roster that we shouldn't have lost, and these performances show it, in my opinion. Whiteside's developing trade value base, not so much. Honestly, Whiteside's trade value still, I think, remains in his contract. There's really no destination that I see that would want Hassan Whiteside, the player. And the teams that would want Hassan Whiteside, the player, the teams that would want Hassan Whiteside, the player, don't really have the contracts to trade for him. So, like a Boston, a team like that. Andre Drummond could be on the market too. Miles Turner is reportedly on the market. I think those guys have a little bit more trade value than Whiteside. They're younger. I think Drummond's a little better. Miles Turner, I don't think he's better, but he's an easier guy to fit in because he spaces the floor alongside protecting the rim. And he's also a lot younger. And he's also like guaranteed on a decent contract going forward for multiple years. So Bazemore, Whiteside, I don't think either of them is going to... I don't think their play is really going to affect their trade value. Even though Whiteside's playing great and Bazemore's playing bad, I don't think their play is going to affect their trade value because their trade value pretty much only lies in their contract. Let me see here. If we don't trade Whiteside, why wouldn't we just pick up his option and trade him next year? Does he have an option? Why is everybody spamming Eric? No, he doesn't have an option? Yeah, I didn't think he had an option. I'll look it up just to be safe. Hassan Whiteside contract. Yeah, no, he doesn't have an option. Which is what I've been thinking all year. Yeah, he doesn't have an option next year. He's going to be an unrestricted free agent this summer. Now, people would say, why don't you just resign Hassan Whiteside to a 1-year deal and then use him as an expiring contract? If you resign Hassan Whiteside to a 1-year deal, he's going to have a no-trade clause. That's going to make it more difficult to trade him. It's also likely that he's not going to want to re-sign here because of Yusuf Nurkic. It's also likely that he's going to want more than a 1-year deal. So that plan is not a good one. I think trading him is still going to be the right move no matter how much he kills it. But I'm going to root for him. I like Hassan Whiteside. Get Eric Brandt on the postgame show. I'm not. This isn't going to be a long postgame show, so I'm going to sign off soon. We'd probably end up losing Hassan Whiteside for nothing. That's what I want to wrap that up with. I don't want to take that risk, especially in a season that's kind of looking dire at the moment. Y'all Blazer fans still want Blake. We only accept him the trade if Anthony is included. Anthony's trade value is a lot lower than his long-term potential. I don't like trading guys whose trade value is lower than their long-term potential. I feel like that's because other teams probably won't value that potential as much as they should. Because what they're seeing, I mean, they're going based more off what they're seeing right now. And that's him struggling. Whereas I still think this guy can be a really good player. I don't think other teams will see it that way. So throwing him into a deal would be selling short on him. Dame Dollar, I said it's going to be a short stream. We're going to wrap this up shortly. But yeah, Whiteside's killing it. I was going to make a video on him, but like some of the stats that I read were, I guess, were wrong. So I kind of planned a video around those stats. His stats aren't... It was mostly like offensive and defensive rating. On Basketball Reference, I guess is completely wrong. Jake Carey, JDC, helped me out with that. I appreciate that. Because Basketball Reference said his offensive rating was 124. His defensive rating was 104. Hassan Whiteside's. It's more like his offensive rating is like 110. His defensive rating is 108 or something like that. I don't know how Basketball Reference ended up with those numbers, but they're wrong. And when I saw those numbers, I was like, oh, I got to make just a short little quick-hitting video talking about it. But people do definitely hate on Whiteside too much, and I've said it all season long. I said it before the season. I said after game 1. People were talking about being worried about Whiteside and, you know, Whiteside's lazy. They're talking about that in the preseason. I'm like, Hassan's going to be okay. Hassan is a good player. Hassan's going to be fine. Some of you guys probably remember me saying that. Hassan's fine. Hassan's having the best year of his career, actually. Career highs in true shooting percentage, assist percentage, career high in points per 36 minutes. His blocks are better than they have been the past few years. His box plus minus that's a career high. Yeah, me and Eric were both at the game. He lives like an hour away. Or an hour ride home on the Max, because he takes the Max. But I'm not planning on streaming for a long time. But yeah, the Suns having a career year, and people don't really realize it. The Suns been great, man. Solar Money says, I love Ant. When he develops, it'll be great for us. But we don't need that much help at the 1 or the 2. So if he doesn't want to come off the bench as a kind of Lou Williams, we might have to trade him eventually. I don't think Ant would cause problems like that. And I think Lou Williams is kind of his ceiling. But like, he's only 20. When you look at how old Dame's like 29. So Anthony enters his prime like 6-7 years from now. Dame will be 35 or 36. You know what I mean? We'll need Anthony. Dame will probably still start, but Anthony could be playing more minutes than Dame at that point, depending on how positively Anthony Simons develops. And who knows when Dame retires? Who knows how that progresses? But I think there's a good role for Anthony going forward. Dame Dollar 3 hours later. All right, guys, I'm gonna sign off. Hopefully not. Because I had plans. I'm still kind of waiting. Today's been kind of hectic. Rayshawn said a little bit ago, hey, what's up, Tori? I've been watching you since you were on the True Blazer Fan channel. Those were the days. It was so different. Like, it's still YouTube, but I wasn't streaming. I wasn't doing this. I wasn't really connecting with the community. It wasn't even my channel. So this year, even though it's been a lot worse in terms of the way the Blazers are playing, I am enjoying making content a lot more this year. I love streaming. I love the post-game shows, and you guys have been great. That is a good question, though. Am I lagging? My mic stand is on the edge of tipping. And I mean, we'll keep you guys updated on trade stuff as it becomes available. Eric is coming out with a trade video. He actually recorded it today. I said a couple weeks ago that it was going to be out in a couple days. I was assuming he was getting his laptop in a couple days. They ended up getting it to him way late. And then we've had a lot of streams. So we're going to get that for you guys because Eric is going to do trade videos and stuff. Because I wanted to do one of those for a while. Haven't yet. But Eric actually already recorded it. And then podcasts will update you guys on trade stuff. So I try and keep the post-game shows to not be trade-related. It is kind of distracting because I do like to kind of go off chat in post-game shows a bit. I'll go on my rants and I'll talk about things for a while, but I do like to involve chat. A lot of times I see trade for this guy, trade for that guy. What about this trade? What about this? And we cover those other segments, in other content. The trade video will cover that. Podcasts are a great time to cover that since it's not right after a game. Do I see any potential in the buyout market similar to last year? I have heard that it's going to be a big buyout market, and we do have roles. I'm not sure we're going to really land anybody unless we're an over 500 team. So we got to get this team playing better, which goes back to fixing the things that are ailing us. Because there are things that are ailing us. We struggled to beat the Golden State Warriors tonight. I'll look at scores around the NBA too. Because I am curious to see what other games, what some other scores are. I'll run through it quick though. I won't read off box score stats. We had the Blazers beat the Warriors 122-112. Bulls beat the Wizards by 1 in overtime. That was a nice win for the Bulls. Lauri Markkanen broke out of his slump. He had 31 points. The Cavs beat the Hornets, which is a bit of a surprise because the Hornets have been playing well. Favorite Blazer target, let's see how he did. Kevin Love was 5 for 9. He had 16 points, 14 rebounds, and 7 assists in 32 minutes. So that's a good game by Kevin Love. Heat beat the 76ers 108-104. 76ers made a rally late, but they were not able to close the gap. I'm going to check on Myers here. Myers Leonard, 29 minutes, 2 for 7 from the field, 2 for 5 from the three-point line. He had 6 points, 5 rebounds, 2 assists. I like Hassan Whiteside better. I like 16 points and 23 rebounds better than 6 points, 5 rebounds, 2 assists. But that's just me. Raptors beat the Pistons 112-99. Detroit falls to 11-17. That's important because they could be a team that you could see us trading with for a number of different guys. Blake Griffin, most notably, but even a guy like a Tony Snell. Tony Snell struggled tonight, but that could be a small forward replacement that we need. Even a guy like Derrick Rose, if Anthony continues to struggle like this, then that might be a good piece. Even a Christian Wood, who only played 6 minutes tonight, but he had 6 points. He's a really good offensive big, power forward or center. So if Detroit keeps struggling, that's a team that we could definitely trade with. Pelicans beat the Timberwolves 107-99. Timberwolves have been struggling lately. They've been horrible. They've fallen to 10-16. We've passed them up. We're now a game ahead of them. I'll look at the standings. I'll update you guys on that. But Ingram had 34 points. I said I wasn't going to read off box score stats, but screw it. Wiggins had 27 for the Timberwolves. I think Karl Anthony Towns is out. Yeah, Karl Anthony Towns has been out, so we'll see when he returns. Kind of hoping he misses the game we play against the Timberwolves because that'll be an important game to win. OKC beat Memphis, which kind of sucks because OKC is in a playoff spot right now. Would have been nice to see Memphis beat them. They only beat Memphis by 4 at home. Dennis Schroeder had 31 off the bench. And what else we got? Nuggets beat the Magic 113-104. Magic, of course, is our next opponent. And Celtics beat the Mavericks 109-103. The Mavericks playing without Luka Doncic. Beat Milwaukee without Luka Doncic in their first game without Luka. But then they lost to the Celtics at home. So standings-wise, Portland Trail Blazers are now 12-16. They are a half game back of the 8th seed, which is the Sacramento Kings. 1.5 games back of OKC, which is the 7th seed. They are 4.5 games back of the 6th seeded Utah Jazz. 6.5 games back of the 4th seed. So home court advantage isn't completely out of the picture. We just got to improve some things, start playing better than how we've been playing. Because tonight we definitely didn't play well, but the Blazers have won 7 out of their last 11 games. A lot of those games have been easy wins, though. All those wins have been against below 500 teams. Minnesota, who I was just talking about, they've lost 8 in a row. So that'll be an important game to win. They play the Magic on Friday, Timberwolves on Saturday, so that'll be second night of a back-to-back. We'll see if Karl Anthony Towns is back. I'm not entirely sure how long he's supposed to be out. It says he's day-to-day, so he'll probably be back by Saturday, I'm guessing. That's a very tough cover for Hassan Whiteside. Towns is a tough cover for pretty much any big, though. But he can definitely draw Whiteside out of the paint, so our help side defense might have to come from other players than Hassan Whiteside. And we've shown that we don't really know where to be in terms of our help side defense, especially from our wings. But our wings are probably going to have to try and play some help side defense because Karl Anthony Towns is like a 42% three-point shooter. That'll be Whiteside's assignment. This stream will actually go a little bit longer because this stream will go to like 12:15. We got 45 minutes in here. All right, I'm going to bring on Eric if he's interested. Push some things back. Definitely not 3 hours like whatever his name is. I forget who said that, but yes, Eric, bro, I got you. All right. Everybody, but if I get a $1 donation, I'll bring on Eric. Eric's about to be the one who donates. No, I'll bring on Eric. Let me call him. I'm going to put the cover up, the thumbnail up, because this will lag if I don't put it up. And yeah, we gonna bring on Eric. Wiggins in a Blazer uni, anyone like that? I wouldn't have liked that before this year, but he's been much improved this year. One of the most improved players in the league. I should mute my mic before drinking this thing. Alrighty, let's call Eric. Let's make sure audio capture is muted so you guys don't have to hear that annoying Skype ringtone. Skype ringtone is so annoying to me. I need to mute this. Nah, I'm bringing Eric on. I'm kidding. Nah, Tori, I love to hear you swallow. Pause, bro. Yo, what's up? Oh, I gotta mute. I gotta put my headphones in. I can't hear you at the moment. I gotta put my headphones in. You're about to play through my mic. My headphones are bunched too. It's not good. So once I get these untangled, you guys can have Eric Brandt on this show. I have a lot of pressure on me. I don't know how these got so tangled. Alrighty. All right, what's up?
What's up, man? Long time no see.
Yeah, it feels like I haven't seen you in months. Feels like I definitely just didn't sit right next to you at the game. Feels like we definitely didn't lose our minds at some of the stuff that happened tonight. Honestly, here's the problem. There were so many little things that made no sense. There's Russell first round exit Westbrook with the $1 donation to get you on the stream.
Thanks, Russell.
He pays your guest appearance fee. Tory Zero Headphones 1. There's just so many little things that bothered me in terms of stuff that I could probably attribute to coaching. Even though we were joking all game long saying injuries. But there were so many little things that almost just blurs together and it's hard to even remember. It's just every possession is what? What? I don't know, man. I mean, is there something specific that we struggled with tonight that I didn't mention, or what?
You covered most of it. Tory was definitely triggered in the first half. He was not having fun watching that game.
I was more triggered at the refs than anything. The refs in the first half were awful. But there was definitely things that with the way we were playing that was very frustrating.
Then I got triggered late in the second half.
Eric was getting triggered at them trapping Dame and us acting like we've never seen a trap before.
So there was a play where Dame was all by himself at the top of the key. There was no one around. Whiteside was under the hoop. I forgot it was probably Bazemore. No, I don't remember who it was, but one of the guys was in the corner, the left corner. And then the other two players were literally all the way in the right corner, standing right next to each other. Mm-hmm. Both of them standing right next to each other while Dame got double teamed up at the top, and he had no one to pass to because there was one person in the corner on one side, two people in the corner on the other side, and that allows the three defenders left over to guard all four players without having to move because they're all just standing next to each other. And that is the absolute worst possible thing you can do against a trap. Luckily, we have Dame who can sometimes maneuver through that, but it's exactly what happened in the playoffs last year against the Warriors. And
what happened against the Pelicans a couple years ago, too.
Yeah. And the only reason why I believe we beat OKC so easily is because they didn't really trap Dame that much. So that's just bad coaching on Donovan's part. But yeah, and then there was a play, it was one or two plays before that where Dame got trapped in the same position and we had three guys all standing by each other. So two of their defenders were right next to each other and able to guard all three of our guys. Yeah. And that's just disgusting basketball. I just get so frustrated because that's not injuries. That has nothing to do with injuries. We've had this problem long before injuries took place. We were fully healthy against the Pelicans. yeah, we weren't fully healthy against the Warriors last year,
And it's not
but
something that should be affected by injuries anyway,
right.
regardless. Yeah.
So there is absolutely no circumstance where you should have two shooters standing next to each other in the corner. It's just dumb basketball, and we almost let the Warriors come back. They cut it pretty close a couple times in that fourth quarter, and yeah, I was just getting frustrated because you could tell as soon as Dame dribbled over half court that Draymond Green was going to come with a trap. He was even like telegraphing it because he would point to one of the guys saying he's leaving his guy and going, and like we have no clue what to do with that. I don't understand why we still don't know how to beat a trap. We have the personnel to beat the trap, even with the injuries.
Yep.
And both Melo, CJ, even Bazemore can handle the ball a little bit. There's absolutely no reason why we should be having these issues, especially against a depleted team like the Warriors are tonight. And
yeah. There's a little like rule I wanted to say, just kind of like based off that play that you were talking about. Yeah, the closer together two offensive players are, the easier it is for one defender to guard them. Mm-hmm. The further away those two guys are from the pass, the easier it is for one guy to guard them because the pass is longer.
Right.
So you need even more spacing. So when you have two guys in the opposite quarter, far away from the ball, standing within 2 feet of each other, one guy can easily take away both those options. Because that's the thing, on the backside of the trap, you should have a 4-on-3. 4 offensive players, 3 defenders, because you have one offensive player with the ball with 2 defenders on them. So on the backside of that, it should be a 4-on-3. But if you have 2 players standing on top of each other, it's basically like a 3-on-3. They can deny all those passes while the ball gets trapped. And like then what do you do? If there's no pass open and you're getting trapped. And that's what we've had problems with year after year after year, and we still have problems with it. And guys like Chad Doing just want to sit there and yell injuries. So literally all that needed to happen there was one guy in the corner come up, run up towards half court. It would have made that one defender choose between guarding one of them. Or, you know, if he tried to split the difference, the guy running towards half court would be coming closer to ball and would be coming into a position where Dame could have an easier time delivering them the ball. And then the one guy on that side would have to decide on, okay, am I going to go guard the ball or am I going to guard the guy in the corner? If he doesn't guard the guy with the ball, the guy who gets the ball after the trap can then attack. If the guy on that side does take away the ball, then he just skips it to the corner, passes it to the corner, because that guy left the guy in the corner. If that makes sense. Hopefully that makes sense. Hopefully I illustrated that well. That's how you beat a trap. You know, you can have different types of actions, but that's how you beat a trap. You make it so that you can get an easy outlet pass and then have multiple options available to make it basically like a 4-on-3. You have to do it quick, but that's how you do it. We don't do that because we just have guys who just stand around and stand on top of each other. We don't do a good job of having somebody come up and relieve pressure, and that's why we struggle against really good defensive teams in the playoffs.
And if you want a visual on what that looks like, look back to games 2, 3, and 4 of the Western Conference Finals last year when we finally decided to actually try trapping Steph Curry. And all he did was pass to that spot where you just mentioned to Draymond Green. Draymond Green would immediately dribble straight to the basket. And if he wasn't stopped, he would have a dunk or a lay-in. If the big popped up, he lobbed it to Kevon Looney for an easy dunk. If we rotated the backside help, he would kick it out to Klay Thompson in the corner for a wide open 3. And those are the kind of looks you should get every time to punish a team that tries to do a trap like that. Yeah. Because that trap was ridiculously obvious, and we just have no clue what to do in those situations. Mm-hmm. And you could maybe give a little bit of a pass to Melo in those situations since he hasn't been on the team. But like we said, this has been an issue for several years with a healthy roster. It's not something that is just exclusive to this roster this year and the new guys and not being able to not knowing where to be yet or not having the chemistry of past teams. This is strictly a problem that's been going on no matter when we had good chemistry, when we had good players. healthy players, it doesn't matter. We do not know how to do it, and that's coaching. And I
Yeah,
don't care what
yeah.
anyone says about it.
And the thing is that being in the right position on the floor offensively is not something that requires chemistry.
Right.
Like, the thing is that happened multiple times. So, like, Eric got more and more mad. It was funny. It was also frustrating for me, too. Because, seeing that happen was frustrating for sure. But it happened multiple times. After the first time it happens, should have been getting it, so guys were properly spaced on the floor to take advantage of the trap, or at least relieve pressure, make it easier on Dame.
Yeah.
And we should be practicing against a trap often. Teams trap us a lot, especially in the playoffs. We should be preparing for that. But we don't really ever look prepared for that. Ever. Which is the problem I have. Why aren't we prepared for that? Why can't we be in the right spots? Like, we threw a trap at Golden State in the Western Conference Finals. Literally, the first time we threw a trap on them, they recognized it, and they got in their proper positions on the floor. They got proper spacing, proper position offensively to be able to take advantage of our traps. Like that. That's a well-coached team. We for years, no matter what, can't do that. It was like they did it better the first time they saw a trap against us in the Western Conference Finals than we ever have, ever. No matter what the roster. So, yeah, it was very infuriating. That was definitely frustrating.
Yeah, I was a little upset, especially since we built a 13-point lead in the first half, and then we gave it all away, and they took the lead several times, and it's like they have no business even being in that game tonight.
Yeah.
But injuries, so yeah.
It's just like people asking me to be positive of us barely beating a 5-24 team at home. Like,
yeah.
I don't. I don't know. I don't know, man. It's there's just not much. There's not much positive outside of individual performances, and it's stuff that we've rehashed constantly. If we played a really bad brand of basketball and somehow beat a good team, then at least we could be positive and like rejoicing, like we beat a winning team.
Yeah.
But we beat the freaking Golden State Warriors, who are, not the Golden State Warriors of last year. They're horrible, dude. That team's so bad.
Well, like I said, if we would have lost this game tonight, that would have made them 6-23, and 2 of their 6 wins would have been against us. Like,
that would have been 33%
that's not acceptable.
Of their wins. Yeah, that's ridiculous, man.
So this was pretty much a game we had to win, and the fact that we struggled through most of the game, we can't build any momentum. We can't build the lead.
That was another thing that was frustrating. Is every time we got up like 8 to 10 points, we gave away the lead. Let them get back into it. It's like we kind of relaxed a little bit, which has been a problem with this team for years too.
There was a part with it was a little over halfway through the second quarter, I think, where we took an 8-point lead, and then Burks hits a 3. The next play down, we don't even guard him. He gets a wide open 3. And then I forgot who the third person was. I think it was one of their bigs, like Paschal or something. But another wide open 3. So they just get like 3 open 3s in a row. Bam! All of a sudden, we go from up 8 to down 1 in a span of like 2 minutes, and it's just stuff like that. It just we're going under the picks after a player just just hit 2 threes in a row. Mm-hmm. Like I don't understand that at all. It's just frustrating.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry, guys. I don't mean to be negative on a win. I'm so happy we won. I mean,
there's
game.
There's nothing wrong with being critical. See, like some people have a problem with that. Can you guys stop with the burner accounts, please? Let's not get this going again. But yeah, man. I mean, I don't know. It's been like we'll have a good stretch for a little bit, and then we'll completely let off and completely like change the way we're playing just because we're up 10. I don't know. Are you eating?
No.
You're definitely eating, bro. Mute your bro. Earlier today on our podcast, it was the keyboard. Now I just hear the clanging of a spoon in a bowl. What are you eating?
It was one clang.
Chat, was it just one clang? Because I heard multiple clangs. I heard like 6 clangs. There's another clang. I hear you swallowing, bro.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I hear your mouth full, you nasty ass. Jeez.
Hey, you said you weren't
Yeah,
going to
see,
call me, and
6
then you
to
did.
10. 6 to 10. Well, I didn't know you were eating. You said don't call. They wanted me to.
I know.
They were begging for you, I guess, to clang your spoon around a damn bowl.
It's a fork, but whatever.
What are you eating then?
Oh, my wife made like a full turkey dinner tonight because we got extra turkey from Thanksgiving time that we didn't end up
Ooh, that's
using.
old.
And then, well, it's been in the freezer, but
That's nasty, bro. You're gonna get diseased.
but I was eating.
You're gonna get back spasms, bro.
I
From
was
that
eating
old
some
turkey.
stuffing.
Yeah.
No, it's not. It's not from Thanksgiving. We got a good deal on a turkey that's been in the freezer, and we took it out and thawed it out, and we had it for dinner this evening. But I was not home because I was at the game. But I'm eating some stuffing right now, and it's delicious. But I'm done now.
The people's mix. Every time you use that word, your comment gets blocked, and I'm not gonna show it. Come on, bro. I ain't gonna repeat the word for everybody to be like, what's he saying? He knows what I'm talking about. But
Russell first round exit Westbrook. So honestly, I made food when I got home because Tori said he wasn't going to bring me on. So
okay.
I was like eating it, and but yeah.
Somebody was supposed to come over around 11. My communication kind of sucked there. I kind of take the fault for that in case they're listening. But yeah, now it's 12:30. So yeah, that's how it goes. I was driving home, dude, and I heard Chad Doing start his show.
Yeah.
And he dropped the whole debate plug again.
Yeah. I heard
Is it about injuries or coaching? I just wanted to. I was driving, but I wanted to tweet at him all caps both, or like I wanted to tweet at him a link to Merriam-Webster.com to the definition of both, because for some reason apparently the word both is not in this man's vocabulary.
Nope.
Oh my god, man. Some of you guys may get this hold up. Some of you guys may get this reference. I'm gonna show it for like 5-10 seconds. Those who get it, it'll be funny.
What is going on?
What's going on with you?
I don't know. I'm just wondering what you're
Just
doing.
wait. I'm on Google Images. I'm downloading an image so that I can put it on the stream.
Dame Dollar, I had a pizza earlier. Did you have Killer Burger?
Let me know if you guys know if you guys know that SNL sketch. Do you know that SNL sketch, Eric?
I know who that is, Pete Davidson, but I don't know.
You don't know the sketch? Oh,
no.
damn. I want to see
Am I involved in this joke or no?
No, it's a SNL sketch, but those who know the sketch will get what I'm saying there. But I'm not gonna give it away. LOL chat. I think Mateo gets it.
Does something to do with Chad?
I'll tell you after this stream. Because maybe like if I end up getting $100 in donations, maybe I'll have a couple bars surrounding that. If that makes sense. Like it'll be subtle, but it would be clever. Let's just say that. Let's just say I've written 4 bars already. But y'all gotta donate $100, so I mean
Dude, there was 3 ties in our picks today out of the 8 games.
The Blazer game was a tie again. That was the second game in a row. It's been a tie.
Yep.
What other games?
The Chicago-Washington game, Chicago was favored by 1, so that was a tie. And the Denver-Orlando game, Denver was favored by 9, and they won by 9.
Yeah. What did I go? Like, what was our records outside of that?
Hold on just a second. The only game I'm missing is Charlotte only lost by 2, right? So they covered.
Mateo gets the reference. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, Hornets only lost by 2.
That's the most subtle diss I've ever had on a stream. Mateo gets it. Dame Dollar. It would be subtle enough that like most people wouldn't get it. Unless I made that picture the cover artwork, which I might, which would be funny.
You were 3.
Okay.
So you were 3-2 if you take out the ties, and I was 5-0.
BS.
Boom.
Cheating ass.
Yeah.
Cheating ass. Not for $2, Leo. For $100. $2? Oh yeah, you're 2% of the way there. I'm only doing it for one of these. Alright? I'm only doing it for one of those. Don't ask why I have a $100 bill right next to me right now.
Why do you have a $100 bill next to you?
I said don't ask why I have a $100 bill next to me.
I know, that's why I asked.
Yeah, I know. Well, I told you not to. I can mute your ass. Don't go against my word, bro.
All right.
No, don't. Don't ask for real. Cranked. Said don't ask, bro.
Oh yeah,
Russell, you dropped to $1, so yeah, you guys are 3% of the way there. Yeah, you're gonna have to watch that SNL sketch tonight. 49ers are not going to lose to the Hawks, but first P, last JL. Gotta give a shout out to you for the $25 Patreon donation that you dropped. So I can't even really argue with you, because then I feel bad, because that's huge Patreon donation. We'll get you on the channel shortly. Tomorrow, if I remember, I'm gonna send out Patreon messages. If I remember. Since we don't have a game tomorrow, yeah, should be good. Should be good to go. All right, we're 4.99% of the way there. Shout out Leo for the $2 donation. Appreciate it, bro. And shout out to Ash for the $2 donation. Said times 5 equals 100. Drop the bars, Tori. 2 times 5 is actually $10. But I appreciate the $2 donation. Oh man. 100 on this man that's thirsty for the money. I'm just not really trying to drop a rap, but I'm starting to prepare in case y'all actually make me do it. My job is to entertain you guys, so there's your entertainment. Chad, oh, okay. Oh, I love that sketch, man. Didn't pass grade 10. Oh, I was hoping you'd get that reference, Eric. Damn, you're going to have to watch it. You'll 100% get it after you watch it.
Yeah, I'm sure. I'll watch it later.
Snort. Austin Whack. I still have to unban his other account.
He said, what were you guys talking about? How on TV they were talking about a group of Blazer fans talking bad about Stotts. Is that being serious or are you just joking around?
Where is that?
Austin Wax said it right after the Leo dropped the $2 donation.
What were you guys? What
I
were
just
you
read
guys
that.
talk? Yeah, I'm just trying to reread it because I didn't really understand. So I'm trying to reread it to understand. If you'd let me. I'm just kidding. That's toxic. I apologize. Austin Wack, what were you guys talking about? How on TV they were talking about a group of Blazer fans talking bad about Stotts. Can you rephrase that, possibly? Because I don't really understand what you mean by that.
So Russell first round exit Westbrook. I actually stay up pretty late, not all night like Tori does, but I stay up way too late for how early I have to get up. But just haven't checked out SNL lately. I'm usually busy doing this stuff or checking on sports and stuff.
The People's Mix. I listened to Chad, aka OK's 30-minute podcast going at you and Eric. That shit pissed me off. It's gonna make me mad if he didn't name drop me, because obviously he's going at me, but he probably didn't name drop me, huh? I'm gonna react to that for a video. I didn't listen to it because I want to react to it as I listen to it. Don't be hating on my man Eric unless you're trying to get banned, Russell Westbrook.
Oh no, he's fine.
Dad vibes. I mean, maybe
That's
Eric
cool.
embraces the dad vibes.
I mean, I am
Eric,
a dad,
you don't
so
even
yeah.
you don't got dad vibes though. You're chill. Like,
all right, thanks.
that's a compliment.
That's like the nicest thing you've ever said to me. I appreciate it.
Oh man, it probably is. He didn't. He didn't name us. Yeah, name drop me, man. Dude doesn't want to admit that I have a platform or anything. Like some fans. I mean, I got a platform, Chad.
All right, that's weird. Russell first round Westbrook.
Yeah. Pause. Remove.
No, it's fine. It's just
Remove the comment. That's too. Maybe he's serious in that scenario. Then I actually feel bad for him.
yeah. Don't block it. It's fine. I just
Anything that makes you uncomfortable, I'll delete it, bro. Just tell me.
it's not uncomfortable. It's just
Bro,
weird.
I'm just saying.
But I mean, I'm 40 and I have 3 kids, so yeah, I do have dad vibes probably. I don't care.
Who's quirky? Chad Doing's quirky? I don't even know what chat's saying anymore. Yes, it is midnight. Okay, it just hit 12 o'clock. That's why I don't understand what the hell chat's saying, because once it hit 12 o'clock, all common sense goes out the damn window. Dame Dollar says, I'm going to go ham next stream with the donuts. I get paid tomorrow. Aren't you 14? I'm so confused. You got a job at 14? Yeah, Eric's like almost 40.
Hey, thanks to Pine. That's nice.
Yeah, I thought you were like 20, 22.
I don't feel 40. I still feel pretty young, except for my body falling apart. But yeah.
Dame Dollar, what do you do, bro?
Oh, 15. Happy birthday.
I thought when the video started, someone said something about the media talking about a group of Blazers fans talking bad about Stotts. Maybe I heard wrong. No, yeah, Chad Doing referenced that on the intro to his postgame show. He's been referencing that constantly. Dude hasn't name dropped me once. Even on Twitter, he won't name drop me. He'll have 4 or 5 people in the comment section saying, you might as well just name drop at Tory Jones YT. Still won't name drop me, man.
The People's Mix thought he was getting a barely legal video, and it turns out it's a stepdad.
What?
Nothing.
Is this dude drunk?
He said I thought Eric just turned 18.
Oh.
He's got some weird posts on here.
Yeah, he seems like he's a little tipsy tonight or something.
Tonight, man, he's been on the. He's got this shtick going.
Exactly, though. Like, he's extra tonight. I don't even know what's happening, man. Works at a coffee shop. Got you. I don't even know what's happening anymore.
I thought Tori was Eric's son.
Yeah, no. Nope. If anything,
Technically,
Eric
that's
would be my
possible.
son.
Oh man, not how I thought this podcast would go. Or post-game show.
Bro, I'm gonna join the live in January, so all I gotta do is donate $10. Correct? Yeah, Patreon. Like I said, I'm gonna reach out to people who donate $10 a month or more on Patreon. I also do giveaways when I drop merch through Patreon. So like, there'll be raffle tickets and stuff.
Austin Wacky. I went to high school at Glencoe. It's out in Hillsboro.
Oh man, why am I tired right now, man? Oh yeah, I woke up to do a podcast. I couldn't fall asleep last night. That's been a problem of mine lately. I only slept like 5.5 hours because I fell asleep at like 9 a.m. I was waiting up all night because I wanted to record that mailbag this morning. Didn't really get an opportunity to. Then I passed out. Then I woke up. I didn't feel good. I was like, Eric, let's not do the podcast. It's like, I really want to do it. I'm like, okay, I'll get up. I'm tired. I feel like crap. And then the podcast freezes up like 10 times.
Yeah, I know where Banks is, Dame Dollar. Is that where you're at?
How's my rec league going, Tori? I just beat the guys who left my team. That was good.
Nice.
We're 1-3 though. Because we got no spacing.
Dame Dollar, I live in North Plains, so I'm just a few minutes away from Banks. But yeah, I know all that, this whole area. I grew up on the west side here.
Yeah, it's the sticks. You guys out there in the sticks. You guys play with sticks for fun.
I mean, it's where I grew up is more city than Vancouver, but
No, it's not. What are you talking about?
I didn't grow
I've
up
been
in this
out
house I live in right now.
Oh yeah, you didn't grow up out there. You live what, Portland?
Well, I had a Portland address, but it was like Beaverton area, which is
Vancouver's just as much city as Beaverton.
I know that's what I'm saying. I'm saying it's about the same.
You better not be talking turf. All right?
Vancouver sucks.
What are you talking about?
You're trying to say Vancouver's awesome or something?
Vancouver's dope. What do you mean?
Okay.
How's it? Why does it suck?
I don't know.
Our waterfront that we're getting put in is
Okay,
better than
now?
anything Beaverton has ever dreamt of, bro.
Okay. Well, Beaverton isn't on the water, but
Yeah, well, exactly. Couldn't even dream of it. Doesn't even know what water is.
I mean, how long has Vancouver been there? So you're just now saying
Bro,
that?
Vancouver was here before Portland, though. Vancouver was, like, dope way back in the day. It was, like, the biggest trading fort in, like, the 1800s or something in the Pacific Northwest. So, like, meanwhile, Portland was, like, named after Portland freaking Maine. Like, Maine's pretty and all, but Portland, Maine, like, come on. We were named after the great George Vancouver, bro.
Okay.
And what is Beaverton? Like, was there a ton of beavers, and that's how they came up with the name? Like, where'd that name come from?
I mean, I won't get any. You can bash Beaverton all you want. I don't care. I went to high school in Hillsboro, and yeah. Awesome Wax asking what your future goals are in broadcasting media.
They're a secret for now under wraps. You have to sign a non-disclosure agreement to hear what my like future long-term plans are. And that probably sounds like I'm joking. I'm not joking. I'm literally not joking. That's literally the first step in all of it was creating a non-disclosure agreement. That's the most I can say. But it would be pretty cool. Let's just say that.
Leo says to replace Chad Dewing.
They don't want me. I'm too critical of the coach.
Yeah.
I would say more than just injuries.
For me, I have my own business and all that stuff. I have a normal job. I just do this for fun. I'm not really looking to do anything more than to have fun with Tori on this channel.
Yeah, and to diss my hometown for whatever reason.
Yeah, I don't really care. I'm not trying to say it's weird to me. I've never really heard anyone say that Vancouver is awesome. So so
It's just like chill, bro. It's like a chill place. You got the river like running through it, the Columbia River. Like you got you got a little bit more of a downtown scene than like a Beaverton. Like it's kind of like it's like suburban, but it's kind of like separate from Portland more than Beaverton feels like, if that makes sense, just because it's across the river, different state.
all right. Other than when you came and played hoops with me at a park and rec in Beaverton, when have you ever spent time there?
I've been through Beaverton multiple times.
All right.
Multiple times. I've been in Beaverton probably more than you've been in Vancouver, to be honest.
I doubt that.
Well, like I have to drive through Beaverton to like get out that way. You know what I mean? Like, why would you drive through? I mean, I guess if you're going up to Seattle. But like for me, when I'm going to the beach,
I go up to Washington a lot. I used to drive twice a week to Vancouver to get helium for the store. So,
oh well, no wonder you think it sucks. You were out there getting helium. Okay, Tori, stop roasting the elderly. He said Vancouver sucks, man. Guys, now I'm gonna like fire shots back, and then he's gonna be all quiet, like I'm like crushing his feelings. I'm like, no wonder you think Vancouver sucks. You went out there to get helium. He's just like,
that was Dame Dollar was a diss on me. He was saying you're roasting the elderly, so he was making fun of me.
oh, no,
how do you like that property tax?
I don't want anybody giving you that victim card.
Sucks.
I don't want anybody giving you that victim card, bro, because you're out here saying Vancouver sucks. Vancouver doesn't suck.
No, I just like even people who've grown up in Vancouver, most of the time will be like, "Yeah, it's Vantucky, it sucks." Like,
yeah.
I don't really hear a lot of people say, "Oh, Vancouver's awesome, I love it." You know, it's such a great chill town. I'm just surprised.
Hate on Portland too. You know what I mean? The people that I know from here that are like that hate on Portland too. Like, hey, it's too rainy. I can't stand a little water falling from the sky. Like, it's rain, bro.
You get what I'm saying, though. Like,
I get it.
I know a lot of people who grew up
in Vancouver. Like compared to Portland, yeah, it's lame, boring, whatever. But like compared to like other suburbs, I don't see. I mean, like Lake Oswego's dope because you got the lake and stuff, I guess. But like, I don't see how it's any worse than like a Beaverton or a Tigard or a place like that. Like, it's literally the same type of place for the most part. I don't see why it sucks compared to that. You know.
And yeah, property taxes suck. So do income taxes.
Sales tax sucks. See, that's what we got. But we can go down to Oregon and not have to pay that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like making big purchases, especially like electronics, because Best Buy is right across the bridge, the I-5 bridge in Jansen Beach. Like, just go down there and buy something. But the Cove is boring. Bro, our waterfront's gonna be popping. Our waterfront's gonna be dope.
I think we can all agree that Gresham sucks.
Yeah. Okay. So Gresham doesn't even. Don't even put him in. Yeah. No. I don't even know what I'm trying to say about Gresham because I'm not trying to say anything about Gresham.
Yeah.
No offense to whoever lives out in Gresham or Barlow or that area.
Did you guys play many Oregon schools in high school or any at all?
Did I play at Oregon schools?
Like in high school, did you play against any Oregon high schools or was it only?
Oh, a ton. Yeah. I played in Les Schwab tournament.
Yeah, that's it.
I played against Jefferson. I played against Sunset. I played against West Lynn, Peyton Pritchard, and them in summer ball. Played against a number of teams like in summer ball. Like you could probably name a Portland high school, and I probably would have played against it. I haven't played against like Oswego or Jesuit, so I guess not all of them. But I feel like I played probably against half the high schools around there.
Chief, and what year was that, or what? Like, when did you graduate? Leo, did you go to Lake Ridge?
Oh, Lake Ridge. I
Okay.
played in the Les Schwab tournament.
So Chiefin was class of 2014. That would have been around your.
I was class of 2014.
Yeah.
What school did
So
you go to?
I don't know, but he said he played in the Les Schwab.
I played in it my junior year.
So 2013, your junior year, Chiefin, were you playing in the Les Schwab?
Went to Southridge. I think we played against Southridge.
Nice. You probably dominated Chiefin.
I forget if we won or lost. Let me look it up. 2013 Les Schwab tournament.
They lost to Aaron Gordon team.
Oh yeah, see that was the year I played in it. Southridge. Where's it at? No, it was 2012 Les Schwab tournament because it was like 2012-2013 season. But
Yeah.
yes, it was the year that Aaron Gordon played in it.
Yeah.
Bracket. No, we didn't. I don't think we played Southridge actually. We played Century. Oh no, we did play Southridge. What's his name? I got the box score right here.
Dude, there was a game last year. Sierra Canyon played in it, and
Yeah.
that was the night before the Blazers played the Warriors.
Oh, I went to see Sierra Canyon. Not for Michael Porter Jr., but like on one of the earlier games. But what were you saying?
There was like all the Warriors, Draymond Green, Curry, like all those guys showed up. Scottie Pippen was there because his son plays on that team,
Yeah.
or did, and there was like 2 or 3 NBA players that had, or ex NBA players that had sons on that team that were all there that night.
Yeah.
So it was crazy. My name's Grant.
Giraldi, number 14.
Grant. Okay.
Is that your last name though? Tori, do I have a PS4? Yeah. Okay, so I've played against Chief and Blazers. I played against him in Les Schwab tournament.
That's
so I'm
hilarious.
looking at the box score right here. Do you remember playing against Columbia River High School, Chiefin? Because I started that game. Yeah, I looked it up. It wasn't hard to find. But no, I don't play Call of Duty. I play some 2K, like My League and stuff. I've made 2K videos before. That's fun.
I played a lot of Call of Duty 3, but I suck.
That's crazy. That's funny.
That's cool though. I'm guessing no one in here played against me in high school.
I didn't really do anything that game though.
I feel like you look different, he says.
Yeah, I was super skinny. I was number 20. Yeah, I was skinny. I didn't have a beard.
I'm Hoops Jock on everything. The
Yeah.
forum, on Twitter, my email,
Nah, I'm not dropping my
Fine.
gamer tag, man.
Fine.
I want a bunch of people out of me.
my PS4 account.
If y'all play Rocket League, then I might add you if you guys are like good at Rocket League. But other than that, I don't really play anything with anybody else. Rocket League, my thing. That's crazy, bro. So let me read off his stat line from that game. Chiefin Blazers was 2 for 4 from the field, 0 for 2 from the free throw line. Come on, bro. He had 1 rebound, 1 personal foul, 4 points.
How many minutes?
Oh no! What is this? He had 5 turnovers
Oh no!
in 15 minutes.
Chiefin, come on, man.
Come on, Chiefin. I wonder how many turnovers I forced. Cause my stat line that game: 1 for 2 from the field, 2 for 4 from the free throw line,
See, you're talking smack, and you're
I
50%.
had four rebounds, 4 fouls, 4 points, 1 turnover, 1 block, 28 minutes. Yeah, I was 50%, which was I shot like 80 something percent. I struggled that game, but we just had this big guy. I don't know if you remember playing against us, but we had this big guy, this 6'8" guy who like we ran everything to. So we had 54 points. He had 28 of them. We literally only shot 18. We literally only shot 29 shots. We shot 30 free throws. And we're 16 for 30. They shot 7 free throws. 30-7 free throw differential, bro. That's crazy. I want to find highlights of that. That's funny. That's
So
funny.
you're like seem like you're making fun of Chief, and he had basically similar stats.
I'm just teasing him. Yeah, no, I didn't do crap in the Schwab tournament. I had better games throughout the year, but
Ray Sean, I am the hoops jock on the Sports 2 forum. Are you on the forum there?
you're gonna get exposed.
I don't care.
If any of you go on that forum,
I feel like
yeah, there's a lot of shticks. There's a lot of like personas on that forum. I don't even know how to explain it to people. Like, it's
I feel like if someone knew about the Sports 2 forum, they would have already known.
Yeah.
Yeah, I went to Glencoe, Dame Dalla. I don't know why Russell first round exit Westbrook's asking if I have a strap. Like, do you really care?
But yeah, do you remember playing against us, bro, or no? At Chief and Blazers.
That sucks that he got to play against Aaron Gordon's team, but you didn't.
I know, I wanted to, bro. I shut him down. I actually think we might have been able to beat him. To be honest.
He says, Tori, how did you find that?
I just searched 2012 Les Schwab Invitational. And I clicked on the first link. Against Aaron Gordon's team, he had no points, 3 turnovers. You said you had 4 turnovers. You had 3 turnovers. Aaron Gordon was 20 for 25 against them. 3 for 10 from the free throw line. That's what I remember from Aaron Gordon in the Les Schwab tournament is he couldn't make free throws to save his life. But he had 43 points against them, 15 rebounds. But Aaron Gordon's team only won, what was the score? 80-70. I honestly think we could have beat Aaron Gordon's team. Because we had a 6'8" big. Like, we could have like matched up okay against them. Jefferson. We played against Jefferson in the Constellation Bracket Championship, and they stalled against us. If any of you guys know how Jefferson High School plays basketball, they play at such a fast pace that it was shocking that they were stalling. And it was ironic because we were the team that was known for stalling, that before they put in a shot clock in Washington, we would keep the scores in like the 20s to 30s. We'd literally just hold the ball, pass it around until teams got desperate, and then we'd take advantage. Like, we got a second place in state because of that. We beat, like, Rainier Beach, which is always a really good team. That was, like, 2009. And there's a shot clock in Washington State because of my high school. Because that's how we played when we got second in state. They literally put it in the next year. So we were the team known for stalling. We played against Jefferson in the Les Schwab tournament. They stalled for, like, 4 minutes. So it was a bit ironic.
Man, when I was in high school, there's Team Sunset. They did that same crap. So if they got the opening tip, they would basically just hold the ball or try to hold the ball the whole first quarter. And there was some like games that were like 22-24 and stuff like that. Luckily, we usually got a lead on them early, so they couldn't really stall too much. But yeah, I hate that crap.
We had a play called Mindy. It was basically like the shape
running
of
the
an
weave
M.
up top.
Well, it was the shape of an M. That's why it was called Mindy. But you'd have one guy at the top of the arc, one guy like top of the arc extended, so a little bit above free throw line extended, on both sides. So with like 3 people in a line. Then you'd have 2 people up near half court, kind of like in between, so it'd make the shape of an M. Does that make sense at all?
Yeah.
And basically you'd pass and you'd cut and somebody would fill your spot and then you'd fill their spot. and everything was like above like the 3-point line, above the top of the arc. And teams would try and press. They'd get desperate because like holding the ball for a while, they'd press up, and then one of those cuts would be open. You'd feed them layup.
Yeah,
like that's high school basketball for you. Because our coach hated the shot clock, and for me, it was like, this is dope. I'm playing with the shot clock. I felt like, oh, I made it. I have a shot clock.
Yeah. I hate that stall crap.
Yeah. No, it's not bad. But honestly, like, you shorten up the game, right? Against the less possessions there are, the easier it is for a lesser talented team to win. If you have one possession each, it's a toss-up. If you have 100 possessions each, like, that gives more of an opportunity for the best team to play like the best team, if that makes sense. So that was the whole theory behind holding the ball, is create less possessions. You'd have more of a chance to be a more talented team, like these teams from Seattle that have killer athletes, like guys who would be future D1, future NBA players. And you'd use their defensive aggressiveness and their impatience against them in that process. So, I mean, like, in terms of, like, trying to win, it was a really good strategy, even though it was boring to watch and, like, not basketball. Like, that's why they need to put in a shot clock. But, like, without a shot clock, I don't blame somebody for doing that. Like, if you're really trying to win, that strategy makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. So, Dame Doll was asking if we played against Liberty. Liberty was not a high school quite yet. That's how old I am. It was a couple years after I graduated, so I never played against them. I don't recall ever playing Lake Ridge. Played Westland a lot, but yeah.
Dame Dollar, that wasn't really 5 out because that's like 5 people around the 3-point arc. This was 5 people like above the top of the 3-point arc, basically. It was different. Yes, Chris Jenkins. You remember Chris Jenkins who hit the buzzer beater to win the national championship, Eric, for Villanova?
Yeah.
He played in it the year that Aaron Gordon and I played in it, so we watched him. But like he looked like a lot chubbier. Like he looked good, but it was like I never would have thought that dude was gonna hit a game winner in the national championship at the buzzer. Like it was kind of surreal. Like, but yeah, he was in it the year me and Chief and Blazers played in it.
I wish. I think that Sierra Canyon team is now the team with like LeBron's kid and Dwayne Wade's kid stuff.
It is.
I wish they were playing this year. Yeah, I'd go to that.
That atmosphere, bro. That they would need to relocate the gym.
Yeah, you probably couldn't even get in.
I don't know why they wouldn't have it like Memorial Coliseum, honestly, or Moda Center. The People's Mix. Can you stop saying that word, bro? For real, man.
Austin Wack, I do not have season tickets. My mom does, so I can ask her to go to any games I want to. But no, I don't have season tickets.
The People's Mix said, Tori, did you use the website I sent you to get full NBA games so you can break down film? Can send it again if you'd want. I don't remember. It was a prank, I swear. I don't remember. And that's the thing, breaking down film is like takes a lot of work, and it literally has no chance to make me a single cent because it gets copyright claimed. And I don't even like messing around with stuff that just gets copyright claimed because they could easily randomly decide to strike it. They don't do that usually. That's why you have highlight channels and stuff. But like highlight channels have gotten in trouble before, so I don't want to include highlights or stuff like that. Russell first round exit Westbrook. No, he did not use that word, and your comment is held for review, and I'm gonna leave it that way. God, dude. I need to add you as a moderator,
I don't see any
so
of
you
those,
can see what some of these guys are saying. Because I keep having like comments roll through that is like this message is held for review, so the rest of the chat can't see it. The People's Mix, I get many people messaging me. Like my DMs are packed. So yeah, if I don't respond to your guys' DMs, like I get a lot of DMs from you guys, which I like that. Usually I try and respond, but it's hard to get to all of it.
So Dame Dollar wants me to talk about his moment of fame where he blocked a 6'2" center from Glencoe because Yeah, boy, got some hopes, he says. I think he means hops, but
He has some hopes, bro.
uh, so my senior year at Glencoe, we had two guys who ended up playing in college. One played D1, and he was like 6'10", 6'11", and we had another 6'8" wing, so or a 6'8" post. So I actually moved to the wing, and so we had a high school front line of 6'6", 6'8", 6'10", which is pretty crazy, but at least for around here, I guess.
I mean, I should have been on the damn wing, honestly. You're lucky. Wow, you got to play on the wing. I didn't even get to play on the wing.
Well, it was like, yeah, just my senior year, I had to
Yeah.
switch.
No, I would have loved that, dude. I was much more of a wing than anything. Like, we had we had a roster my senior year with me and another guy like 6'5" in shoes. That guy could like windmill dunk and stuff, but he played like a guard. Like he handled the ball like well, shot well, could shoot off the dribble. Um, if we had like different personnel, me and him could have easily played like the 2 and the 3, shooting guard, small forward at 6'5", and we could have had like a super big lineup that was still like
Yeah.
skilled. But we were the posts, and we didn't even run like 5 out. We ran just like a basic high school system. So most of my looks came in the post. My senior year, it sucked. I didn't really get the opportunity to handle make plays all that often.
Austin Whack, my mom usually uses most of the tickets. She doesn't really sell any of her games, so I don't know if she would be willing to sell that. But the discount we talked about was for the my store, not for tickets to a game.
Yeah, if you want a discount for tickets on the game, use promo code Blazers Uprise on your first SeatGeek purchase, and you'll save $20. There is a
And I,
minimum amount you have to spend. I think it's $50 or something, but then it'll save you 20. So
and the game tonight, you could get tickets for like $4 or $5.
yeah, so if you're trying to sit somewhere good against a bad team, or sit somewhere mediocre against a good team, then there you go.
And my mom's tickets are up in the 300 level, so it's not like they're um, awesome seats that I give you a discount on anyway, because they'd probably be those $4 or $5 tickets if they were
Yeah.
for sale.
Anyway, I'm a wrap up this stream soon. I wanna record a mailbag while I have time, because I still have a little bit of
Nice.
time to do that. I want to
Yeah.
make that Chad doing video too. So I think that we're gonna hop off for tonight. Not the same amount of viewership, because definitely lost some viewership just because we went live a little bit later. But shout out to everybody who did join in. A lot of the
Yeah.
regulars. I'll try and make sure to unban Austin Whack. But that wasn't my fault. You made an Eric Brandt Birder account. But I'll fix that for sure.
And thanks for not spamming the chat with a bunch of burgers tonight.
Yeah. See, I
It was
asked that. Yeah,
it was headed that way, but
I know. I put an end to that. Because it's kind of like funny for like a little bit,
yeah.
and then it's like more and more and more are created. Then we have a ton of birders, and it's like, okay, like that's basically what this stream has become. It's just people posting on like fake accounts. You know what I mean? Like it's funny, but don't want it every time. The people's mix being extra towards you.
I know.
Like I see, that's what I mean. Like I thought he was like maybe drunk or something.
I mean, I like the fans, but it's a little weird.
Yeah, he's
Um,
married. Don't ruin
but
his household.
but he also said greatest 30-minute stream ever.
Yeah, well, you know what? Plans change. People drink and then can't drive. You know, when you drink, people are responsible, so they drink and then can't drive over.
Yo, mama, you been in here this whole time, and you just now get into this comment. That's like all he says when.
The people's mixed. I'm not going to show that comment, bro. You don't want to. You don't want to see what he said. Dude, I've seen so much stuff that's been held for review that you can't even imagine, chat. Or you, Eric. Gotta make you a moderator. Oh my goodness.
Russell, you're not really making me uncomfortable. You asked me about my jump shot earlier. Maybe Tori can answer that. He
I don't
wanted to know.
remember.
He said he needs to know if I have a good jump shot.
Needs to know. Well, I mean, it's okay. His
Hey,
jump shot's
you guys
okay.
don't have to apologize. It's all good.
No, I mean, like, I don't care like that. People's mix. I don't care like that, man. Anything you say is really bad will get hell for review, and I'll just be like, oh my god, I'm not like, I don't care like that. You good? Dame Dollar, yeah, you are famous for bad grammar. At least you spelled
So
Dame Dollar right.
my jump shot.
What?
I don't have a bad jump shot. I don't shoot a lot from the outside. I prefer to attack
He's a
the
post up. He's a
basket.
Chris Kaman type of guy. In a way.
But if I do hit some 3-pointers, it does open up my game a little bit to
Yeah.
penetrate and dish and stuff like that. So
Yeah, which usually takes him about 15 seconds to do, but it happens.
I don't really I don't really shoot many jumpers in any of our 3-on-3 stuff. Maybe practices, but I think I've shot like 2 or 3 threes and combined over the 2 years.
Yeah. Najib asked if we could get a good two-way player for CJ, which is an actual basketball question. I'm surprised. So I don't think we're going to trade CJ. So I don't discuss CJ trade scenarios because I don't think we're going to trade him. I don't think there's really any chance we trade him. But anyway, we're going to wrap this up. Thank you guys to everybody who tuned in on this mostly chill, slightly tilted after that game, after that debacle. That was literally the least satisfying win I've ever attended. I mean, win's a win, you know. I mean, like, thank God they didn't lose, but that wasn't satisfying at all. Like, I don't know. It was cool to chill with people I know at the game, but, like, it's just like, this is ugly lottery basketball. That's what that game was.
But it's still better than getting our butts kicked by them the last time.
I know. How did we get our butts? They didn't have Draymond or Russell, and we lost to them. That's ridiculous, man. Anyway, final question we're going to answer. Yes, I think the Warriors might trade Glenn Robinson. Eric pointed this out to me at the game. They want to open up a roster spot for Kai Bowman, but they don't want to take on any additional salary. They have 15 roster spots that are already all full, so they have to clear one, and they would want to shed a little bit of salary because they are hard capped and kind of close to it. So trading Glenn Robinson to a team with a roster spot makes sense because they'd save the rest of the money on that salary, and then they could that would open up as a roster spot for Kai Bowman. So I do think it's possible. They're kind of in rebuild mode. You know, maybe it'd take a second. I don't know, but Glenn Robinson is a really good target for the Portland Trail Blazers. A really good, realistic target. I'd love a guy like Covington, but I think Glenn Robinson is a lot more realistic and would take less too and would definitely help this team with the way our roster is at right now. Because that dude's been a really good three-point shooter this year. He might be over 40% now. I'm not sure. Do you know what he shot tonight?
I have it right here. Hold on. Glenn Robinson was 5 of 7 from deep tonight.
Yeah, 5 of 7 from deep. He had 17 points?
17 points. He was 6 of 13 from the field, so he's 1 of 6 from 2 and 5 of 7 from deep.
All right, I'm going to calculate. I'm going to calculate his 3-point percentage after this game because Basketball References update this fast. He was 38 for 96. So after this game, Glenn Robinson's 3-point percentage is 39.6%. That sounds pretty good out of a small forward to me, to be honest.
Yeah.
And even a guy like that could take Tolliver's minutes at power forward because I said today Tolliver is like 6'8", but he plays like he's 6'4". He plays like below his size, so why not just play a guy who's 6'4" at that position because he'll give you what Tolliver gets you. Maybe that's a little bit of an over-exaggeration, but Glenn Robinson's definitely a target that I hope we end up landing for sure. So anyway, we're going to wrap up this post-game stream. We'll catch you again on Friday. I've been promising content. We'll work on that right now. And we'll catch you guys later. So anyway, good that we won tonight, even though the product on the floor wasn't good. Moved to 12-16. We got the Magic on Friday. I'm not going to that game, so I'll catch you guys right after that game with that post-game stream podcast earlier in the day. I think that covers the outro. I probably sound like I'm asleep right now. I don't know why. I'm getting kind of tired right now. I don't know. I sound sleepy. I feel like I sound sleepy. Do I sound sleepy, Eric?
A little bit.
Yeah. That means it's time for me to sign off.
I think you sounded more sleepy earlier.
Yeah.
The podcast.
Well, yeah, because I only got 5 hours. I need my 8 hours, man. I'm one of those guys that needs his 8 hours just so I can have that spark. So I'll catch 8 hours before Friday's podcast, hopefully, and then I'll catch you guys with that podcast. So as always, wrapping this up. Peace out. Go Blazers.